Okay, we have our next installment of the Lego build. Again, you can see the ages that we're looking at. You can see the number of parts we're looking at. And you see the overall idea of what we're going to be building today. As per usual, the box is still intact. Going back again about approximately a $9.99 set. Everything you can see on the back here. Doesn't he look scary? Let's go ahead and get into it. Hope so far everybody's had a good time with watching the build, and again, as my kids start to do it here soon, you'll be able to see them build all the same things that I've been building, and as well be able to kind of get a better idea about where your children might be in building the same stuff. Then we have our booklet. At the back of the booklet, you're going to see kind of what's all here. All the different sets that are a little bit smaller. And of course, what do we have? We have our little parts. And we have the end result. So we're going to do as always, we're just going to start by opening up our packages. You remember, different sizes, you're going to have a different number of packages. But for the small ones, generally you have about 2. Pay attention so that nothing actually tries to run away off the table. What I like to do, go ahead and grab my people. Start putting my peoples together. It's always fun as you just try to find legs that you know are here, but you find them there at the end. And the last item is going to be his ray gun. I always find it fun putting stuff in their hands because it's always so difficult. And then now we're just going to start on our little spaceship. And I know that as we start to get going on these videos a little bit quicker, that for the most part you're going to want to see the kids building them. So I still would challenge every parent, to pick up a couple of the sets every now and again and put them together. Again, a good thing that you can do, not only just be able to actually be with your kids, but it's also good to go back in time a little bit and understand where you came from, and possibly if you enjoyed building Legos when you were a kid. It kind of gives you and your kids something to talk about that you might not have been able to talk about recently. And again, even so far, my son and I have actually had a lot of conversations about it, and my daughters as well. And how we're going to start doing this, how we're going to start moving forward with it, and when they can start kind of building them. And one of the issues is that if you have kids and you want to put up videos down the road, again, it's a way to add a little bit of competition to it. Family against family. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the time it takes to put it together, but maybe in the creative ideas on, what else you can do, with the set. And that's where I think it's going to be really fun, overall, because it doesn't have to be super creative in order to, make something that's a value. I mean, it can be basic level of creativity, but overall, that's a massive, win for every parent. to have their kids build something from scratch, and they kind of see that you don't have to, work for a big corporation in order to, make something that's currently not on the market. And I know for me, that's a really big piece that I'd like for my kids to learn and to understand that, again, you can do anything you want in this world. There's always that statement that, the only thing that I might want to be, but I couldn't be, is like a United States astronaut. But then again, if you want to be an astronaut, make enough money, you can put yourself into space. So that's one of the things I still want to be able to pass on to my children, so that they know that if they ever want to do anything, it's still about trying to find a way to make it happen, instead of having the naysaying side that, well, you couldn't do that, or that's not realistic. I'd much rather understand that you truly can do whatever you want to do. It's about finding a way, and always trying to find the best possible path. It doesn't necessarily have to be my path either. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that, your children are extremely smart. They're all very intelligent. They all have a lot of creative ideas, and I'm just really trying to harness that in my kids and bring out, the best that they can be. I know that might seem kind of corny, and as you can see here, I've already made a mistake, so I need to go ahead and move my pieces around a little bit. Other than putting them back in the pile, I'm going to put them off to the side so that way I don't have to try to find them again. It's always nice finding white pieces in a big pile of white pieces. But as you can see, the parts here that I missed. The fun of trying to talk and do things at the same time. It seems like we're done with that part for right now. So the fun part of it here is you can kind of see, what pieces might go in place, what pieces might not. Got a little torpedo, that's kind of cool. Nope. Of course, you can see here, the little flying hazard. I just shot it at myself. So definitely something to be looking at. I believe we're going to go right about here. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. And again, every now and then it kind of helps kind of move the parts around as you're trying to find the right piece. Which does not seem like it would be a problem. But this might be the part right here where I'm missing one of my pieces. But what we'll do is we'll keep building around it. But, oh, see, look at that. All that searching, and it takes some time just to find it. This is also the fun part too. If you put it on the other end, it won't work. So always kind of look back at your pictures and make sure it's sitting in the right angle, and you have everything going on the correct side. Because if you don't, you could end up going the wrong road for too long. Have to go back and take it back apart and put it all back together again. Which again could be pretty fun. I'd much rather take it apart one time, let the kids put it back together after that. Luckily I caught that piece before it hit the ground. This is definitely a part where you want to be careful, because even right now I'm trying to get ahead of myself almost and don't want to do that. So that's definitely a time where you start to miss stuff. Because even here, be able to see a piece I didn't put on the other side, which is something I'll go back and rectify here momentarily. So you can see and make sure they're both looking the same. So now we got one on each side. Now we have, that goes there. There we go. And as you see, this is where it gets really fun when it comes down to parts that might not look right. And the reason why they don't look right is because you have them on there wrong. might actually be the part that goes on top. But it seems, there we go. There, ooh, look at that, it spins as it's shooting. It's pretty neat. And again, watch out for your parts sliding off the table here. Fits on there pretty tight too. That's just really cool. Kind of loosen up a little bit so it can actually still move and shoot. One side's a little bit more loose than the other. That's okay. And then again, have a couple extra pieces. First you can kind of go in and put them in place so that way they can add a little bit of spice to it. And as you can see, there's some parts that don't necessarily fit, but you can always find a way to get them in place. Now we seem to have one more antenna, which almost looks like a gun in and of itself. This is always a part for me, having bigger fingers than when I was a little kid. Prop it up. Well, as you can see, we're about 18.5 minutes so far, so that took about 18.5 minutes to put it all together. And you can now see the end result. A little Microfighter. Which you go back into the time that we've talked about in the past, that everything can be done so the missiles that fall off. You come to almost about 50 cents a minute, of my time. And again, add to it whenever my kids all put them together. It just makes it even more worth that time and effort. I'd still say for any parent out there that's looking at buying Legos, definitely consider having your kids take them apart, have all your kids put them together. If you buy it for one kid, by all means, that's great. You can always have the kid go back and re-put it together later. And even for me, I'm able to put them together. I have 3 kids. All 3 kids will be able to put them together, as well as my wife. And we're able to maximize our ability to, buy a Lego set and enjoy it as a family. And I hope you do the same. Come back again.